Hello! We are back, the Bull. We are back and better than ever. We got the background music. I got some food in me, some spicy curry. Got some work done last night when my internet was down. I posted a whole bunch of links to the stream on random channels like Brackies, and we'll see if anyone shows up from that. Exciting. Got some stuff to show today. So I think we should just get right into it, but you're the only viewer right now. Yesterday I was going to stream, but my internet went down. It happened on Sunday during the Not Game Dev show. And yeah, and then yesterday during a couple meetings, or actually during one meeting, the connection went down completely twice, and it had to reconnect. That was annoying because I was leading the meeting, but it happens. And then last night it went down. I was talking to a guy on Discord about a potential contract and to do a new demo level for the latest Medieval Town updates. Someone who's better at level design than me, essentially. And then it just stopped working, and so I played a little Civ. It's half hour later, it didn't work still, so I was like, shit, I guess I'll just get work done. And then 11:30, I was like, let me just unplug the power to the modem and plug it back in, and that totally fixed it. So it could have been I just needed to do that originally on Sunday, for all I know, but it's been working fine since. I mean, it's a fast connection, so, you know, but you know how things go. It happens. So, welcome everybody. For those who are watching later, this is Infinity PBR. This is what we do, creating assets, making games with those assets, making lots of art, a little coding as well. Come on over to Infinity PBR, join the Discord, join the YouTube for the live streams, and hey, Ashen, welcome to the stream. And if you ever need assets on the asset store, come over to my site, click the See All Assets button, check out my assets, the Infinity PBR assets, and of course, this is an affiliate link. So if you do happen to purchase anything on the asset store, after clicking that link, you will be supporting Infinity PBR, and that goes a long way to gain more stuff made that we can all use in our projects. And I should probably do a video on this sale. I'm not sure when it ends, but there's some good stuff in this sale. Like, everything from Impossible Creations is really cool looking, and I do plan on using them eventually. I'm gonna hopefully be interviewing the publisher, More Mountains, on the channel soon. Just trying to get my interview connection working properly for that. Lots of good stuff here. Yeah, so definitely check out Procedural Worlds. Everyone loves Procedural Worlds, or most people love Procedural Worlds. I love Procedural Worlds. Stylized fantasy loot, that's cool. Lots of good stuff. Yeah, anyways, let's show what we did. Oh, you do? Thanks, Ashen. I have a lot of my assets too. So now we have something in common. No, thanks for supporting the work. It's super helpful. For if you don't know, a lot of people may not realize I don't do all of this myself. I actually hire modelers. I hire other folks to do the stuff I can't do, which is a lot of it. So I hire people to do the sound, I hire people to do the music, I hire people to do the rigging, the animations. Sometimes I hire for the texturing as well. I'm hiring someone to do a level design for one of the for the medieval town environment because I want someone who's better than I am to do it rather than me. So every little bit of support goes into basically making all that happen. So thank you for your support. And let me show you what I did. So I'm going to make this full screen and just show it to you. And hopefully it won't break. Wait, will it break? Was there a bug that I did fix at the end? There might be, but it won't happen until the end, so it's okay. How do you get rid of that compare panel? Yeah. I don't know. That one I don't know. Alright, so we got here our little dungeon entrance. And pay attention to the portraits here. And pay attention to what happens when we transition from the scene. Ready? Right there. That's pretty cool already. I'm going to say no. I'm going to go in this way so you can see better. Okay, now I'm going to say yes. You ready for it? Yes. Ooh. Now this would load more slowly, but it just jumps to 90% in the build. But it would load as the, fade in as the loading bar goes up. It matches the loading bar progress. Look at that. And it fades out. We got some priority issues on the lights, it looks like. But, or maybe it's just the flickering of the lights. But check out the portraits now. Whoa. Whoa, look at that. So as you go in the darkness, let's find some darkness to go into. Go in the darkness and they get dark. Not completely dark. There's a little spotlights on them. So you can still see them. But when you get nice up and close to torches, those lights affect them as well. So now, no matter where they are, they're more embedded in the scene itself. Hey look, that light's like, well, that's a floating torch. I'll have to figure that one out. Not sure why that's happening. How cool is that? I think it's pretty cool. I got most of it done yesterday and a little bit more done tonight. I had a nighttime meeting, so I cut out work at 4 and did the rest. And this part I did today with the portraits. Super happy because it just didn't look right before. I looked at it, I was like, they're really bright. They were actually way too bright. And that was because the spotlights were not competing with any other light. So now they're no longer bright. And I've got it set up, and I'll show you how I set it up, so that every scene can have its own set settings, I guess. Colors of the lights, the color of the background. If you notice, the background's actually darker than it was before. And this is where it's probably going to break. And this whole scene too, of course, the transition with all the fading and stuff. Oh, that time it faded in pretty decently. I guess it's a bigger scene. This is where I think there's going to be a bug that you need to fix. Yeah, so it didn't transition back, and there's a null reference I need to figure out. But let me show you the basic gist of what I did. Clear that out, and I will close that. Turn that off. All right, so I did a few things. First thing I did yesterday and a little bit today was I created a item for scenes. So this is using the modules available on the Asset Store. Hey Athena Zao, how are you? And I created a new items list for scenes. And so you got the 2, Ironport and Dungeon right now. And I add some dictionaries. This is all I'm using is for the custom dictionaries. Got the loading image. So these are just temporary placeholder only art that I just got from Wallpapers Wide, just to have something there. So the loading images are there, and then I add the portrait background. That's the background of each portrait. And then the spotlights, there's 2 spotlights on each character, and so they've got a float value for their intensity and a color value for the light's color. And so in each scene, you can have a different value for all those. And so you can customize. Now, one day, the outdoor scenes are going to have, weather system and day and night. And so for that, I'm going to have to expand on this to build a dynamic system so that the colors of the light and the intensity of the light change throughout the day and depending on the weather, so that it matches a little bit better. But that will be later, way later in the process. So that's one thing I did. The other thing I did was added to the required objects scene transition. And scene transition is essentially just a canvas with this script on it. It's got the background, which is just an image. It's just a black image. That's all it does. And this prompt window, which, I'll bring it up. It is faded right now, but it is the prompt window. The Canvas Roof Alpha is the fade on that. So I learned something new last night about that. And that has its own script on it as well, the scene transition prompt. Underneath that is just the buttons, nothing special there. And they work really well with the scene exit and also the, of course, active scene. To some degree. This is actually a lesser degree, but the code is quite fun on it all. It's pretty actually simple, but essentially you got the prompt that comes up on enable. It does all this stuff, and it starts a code routine for fading in. There's options to not have it fade in, which is cool. It's options for fade speed. You can then there's also disable. I put in some stuff here thinking maybe I'll make this a module one day. I mean, it's not super complex, but it's probably nice just to have. And it's fairly customizable, which is part of the module spiel, that things should be, if possible, customizable. What happens when yes is clicked? You do this pre-transition actions method and then the start scene transition. If you do no, then you just do the fade out or close it. Pre-transition actions are right here. And then there's nothing there now. And then start transition is somewhere up here. Start scene transition. We do the fade. If we aren't fading, we set the background to the full value right away. And then we say background is full. Otherwise, we set the transition to the null color, which is basically the start color. Hey, Paul. And then we set that to true and start the code routine where we fade in the background. And the fade in the background took a little bit of getting used to. I'm not terribly used to doing code routines, but I realized it needs to be like some sort of for loop. It can't just be an if statement. So this is pretty simple. We're going from alpha 0 to 1, and then adding time divided by the fade speed. So if you write in 10 as the fade speed, it will take 10 seconds to get there. And then we're just doing a color lerp from the null color to the full color, putting in that alpha value, and then returning every frame until we get there. And once we get there, this loop ends. We do set this to the full because I realized sometimes it was ending, but it was like 98% for whatever reason. And so we do set that just so it gets full, and then we call background is full. And that's the next step, where we go to loading scene. Now, of course, you could add additional code here if this were a module. And then go to loading scene. Says, this is a warning for me. I need to save the game at this point as well. Or maybe I'm going to save it earlier in the process. But either way, I need to save the game data. And then load scene, loading scene name. And then, that's scene manager, load scene. So it loads the scene. And then the scene manager does some stuff. That's loading control here. It does some stuff, just asynchronous loading. Nothing fancy as well, but this, if you've never done this, this is a cool bit of code as well. So steal that for your own purposes. And then once it's done loading the new scene, it does the rest of the actions here, and basically fades out the background. um, and unpauses the game. And I made sure that on actions that we now do scene transition. Find scene transition. So if the prompt or the background panel are active, then you can't do any player actions like selecting players or anything like that. So, yep, that's what I did, and it was very exciting. And now I want to fix that bug. And I need to. I had a 6 p.m. my time meeting with folks in Asia, and I found the bug, and I think I was on a figuring out where it lived, but then I had to go to the meeting, and now I've forgotten everything. So we're gonna recreate the bug by going in here and coming out, and when we come out, that's where the bug's gonna happen. Clearly, that's weird because this totally worked earlier. It's probably I hate UI stuff. All right, so I'm gonna go through here, clear the console, and let's see what the heck is causing the bug. Hey Nate, welcome to the stream. I've heard a lot of good stuff about Dewtween. I think I own the one on the paid one on the Asset Store, actually. Probably from one of the many bundles and sales. Alright, so here's our null reference. And it's saying there's no object. And I think the problem is this only happens, I think, because there's a loot box and it's looking for scene data. My guess is that at this point, there is no scene data. Now, scene data comes from active scene. Active scene, and I, where is scene data coming from? Where is scene data coming from? I thought it came from active scene. Scene data is scene data. Where's scene data live? Let's find out. Scene data. That's weird. Does it, like, literally not exist? That's weird. Wait a minute. I'm very confused now. Public scene data. Scene data. Where does scene data live? I thought scene data lived here. But yeah, it does right here. But, oh, interesting. So I did change this the other day. For those of you who are following along, here it is, public scene data. I can remove this formally serialized now, I think. Maybe, we'll see. So apparently this is not this one. Where's mine? This part. It's not getting scene data. And if that's the case, we should just reassign it. So it should exist, it should live, but it disappears. So when do we call setup loot? Right here. So I'm going to set up by linking scene data equals active scene dot scene data. All right, so maybe that was the only bug. Maybe I just need to make sure that was there. Hopefully, because that would be an easy fix. It only happened because there was loot. The dungeon doesn't have any loot right now, so that part never triggered, which is probably why I didn't see it before. And then I don't know about this scene transition thing. We'll have to figure that one out if it still shows up. It might not show up once I fix this bug. Sometimes they're cascading bugs. And for those of you who remember that the portraits were blurry in the dungeon scene, it's because the dungeon post-processing was still on, and that was overriding or combining with the other post-processing. Yeah, see, so it does fade. I also want to make this go grayscale at 0. Alright, so it didn't work. Didn't work. We still have a null reference exception. Well, let's just make sure it is what we think it is. Log scene data dot UID and log loot is going to be loot box.uid. We'll just do those because one of those two things, and I just want to confirm that scene data. If you're new to the stream, because I posted on a couple Discords just now, welcome to the stream. Please like and subscribe. I do this fairly often. I've actually scheduled quite a few for this week. Thursday night my time, Pacific time. Friday night because I've got no life. And Saturday morning. Or early afternoon, late morning. Because while I have no life, I do plan on sleeping in on Saturday. Although, I think it's been a while since I've actually been able to sleep in. My body just wakes me up. So what can you do? Let's recreate bugs. I'm also terribly enjoying this colorful logger thing that we did with Jason Story the other day. It's been very fun. I enjoy it, seeing the colors and then the text over here. It definitely helps me. This is the place to be. Alright, so this time we got the null reference on. Aha! So it's not scene data, it's loot. Save scene data. Loot boxes. Interesting. Alright, so we can dig into this. Save scene data is saying that the loot boxes exist in the, but the loot box itself doesn't. Okay, I'm pretty sure I might know what's going on. And this is why we have the whole relinking thing. So, if we look at our game and then our data, for our scene, Ironport, not the first one, the one with the thing, loot box is 1, no loot box. We need to relink that. Now, this is a great example. If you've heard me say Legends of the Logger, if you've heard me say that sometimes we need to relink data on load, this is one of those times. I'm going to make this mistake a lot during the development because I will always forget. But in our scene data, I guess that's going to be in the scene, not down there. So in our active scene data exists and loot boxes exist. So this needs to be relinked. So somewhere here, and this is why I like having the debug. Set up scene data. So let's go to set up scene data. Third one down. And this is where we're going to set up player. This is on game. Get scene ready. All right, this is where we're going to do it then. Set up scene data. Let me get rid of this. Ensure that data exists in the save data class and set up. Active scene, set up. Here or there. So we're going to do set up loot. So let's do it over here. We're going to call relink scene data. Data.active scene data, and we will put that. Let's do it on active scene actually. So we'll do active scene dot relink scene data. It won't need to know that now. And we'll put that down here. And log relink linking scene data. I'm also going to put a log reminder, do this for bad guys, stuff on the ground, triggers, levers, switches, etc. So when we get to that point, we'll have to add those here as well. So I'm going to say relink loot, and we'll make a new method for that. They're all going to be the same, but we'll separate them out to keep things very specific. So we are going to, let's see, active scene, scene data. Which one's active scene? That's this. Okay, so we have an easy way to get the scene, saved scene data. We pass that here. We pass that here. We pass this. So maybe, okay, so this is active scene data from the data. Why is this? Oh, that's fine. We'll fix it. So this is active scene data from the data rather than the scene itself. So that's exactly what we want. And then we will just kind of copy this, scroll down to where we have the error. And we're going to pass that through here as well. So save scene data. So then for each loot in the save scene data, we will make the loot match that. So for some reason I thought we had already done this. Let me see. Thought we had already done this. Let me just save it because it should work fine. I'm gonna stop and press play. I swear we had already done the checks on whether loot boxes existed, and if that's the case, we just need to do that in that step. Video setting up in the debugger. Video setting up. Setting up the debugger still up. Setting up the one that we did on Sunday. Is that the one you're talking about, or a different one? Probably Jason Wyman's channel. It's my best guess, but I don't know. So this part. No. Relinking scene data. Reminder to do this for bad guys. Get active scene data. Relinking item data. So this confirmed data on load. This whole thing is for relinking things. So maybe I should do that here instead. I swear, I thought we added it for the other stuff. Then it could be, we did a live stream on Sunday. It's the one that says Game Dev Show, question mark, with our little photos in the thumbnail. That's the one where we did all these colorful logs. Didn't I? Maybe I didn't. I swear I did. I swear I did. Let's see. Set up loot, set up loot. I guess we did it here. And So scene setup, save data. It's an active scene. Okay, so this happens after, but it happened before the bug. So yes, I can do it here instead. So I'm going to do it here instead on active scene. So let me go back to game. We're not going to do it here. It's the same spot essentially. But it should live here. Setup loot. And in part of setup loot is going to be relinking. So first we're removing any objects from the main scene. Next do that. And then before we load the loot boxes, or this is where the bug was, so okay, so this is the bug. Remove any objects removed from the main scene. Okay. If the scene data, loot box, save scene. First removed from the main scene. So that's actually, I did this wrong. This is supposed to be scene data. Saved scene data is from our data. This is from the live. So I should rename this live scene data to be very specific. Maybe we'll do current scene data. So instead of, we need to look, we need to look once further removed from the main scene. So the current scene data, loot box equals current scene data. That's the value that was being missing before. So if the, oh, wait a minute, okay, cancel. All right, let me start from scratch. Okay, so we're going through the saved ones. This we can't cache because it won't be linked yet. So, I see. Okay, this could be, we might need to do another fix. Because the UID, well, let's just see. Once this does its thing. Alright, so the active scene, scene data, is loot boxes. Didn't I set this up for Ironport? I thought this would say Ironport and have stuff. Unless that's the root of the bug. Huh. Is this just not being saved? Or did it... Oh, shoot, I changed the name of stuff. Gosh darn it. Alright, we'll just put another gibberish. Oops. Alright, player start position. Where's the player start position? we will put the player start position. Right about there. Maybe a little higher. Alright. So 390, 12, 228. 390, 12, 228. I could probably save this in the scenes item list now. That way it will never go away, or at least not like the way it just did. And we have to re-add our loot box. So I guess in this case I probably should have made it formerly serialized as. Alright, so now that's reset up. Alright, now I need to reconfirm that the bug still exists. That's too bad. Probably still exists. I hope I can solve this bug quick because I want to get to saving and loading, getting that working. Oh, that needs to be moved in. That pillar. Yes. Yes, I want to go outside and make the bug happen again. Alright. It did happen. Oh, or did it? This worked this time, so that's cool. But, this still happened. Alright. So now we're back to where we thought we would be. Iron ports. Got the numbers we just put in. The data. Has a new iron port now, maybe. It's got a whole bunch of gibberish. Oh, interesting. I probably have to check that code to make sure it's not adding the transition scene. So it's got the iron port stuff here. Loot box is not populated. We still need to populate that. So what we should do then, so we do know the UID of the scene. But we don't have a UID of each loot box. Interesting. So I guess so let me write my notes here. Note. We don't have any loot boxes linked on load, so we need to link them. However, we don't have the UID until they're linked. Conundrum. But the order doesn't matter. So we can simply add all loot boxes to the saved data list, then remove any empty spaces, just in case we reduced one. That should do the trick. Alright, so let's try that. So our saved scene data, we're not going to go through this. Instead, we're going to go for each loot box in current scene data. No, current scene data dot loot boxes. For each loot box, we're going to say saved scene data dot loot boxes dot add loot box. And comment out this, make it a zombie. Now every time I hear this song, I think Athena's owl likes this song. Have a good one, Athena. Thanks for joining. Alright, so we're adding them. Perfect. And now we're going to remove extra ones. So actually, we don't need to do that. We can do this instead. Just clear at the beginning. Save scene data.lootboxes.clear. So that'll clear it out in case there's a bunch of empty ones. We'll add the new ones. So now we only have the ones that are current in the scene. We've gotten rid of anyone that was not in the scene. So that actually did that. Remove any objects removed from the main scene. So we can get rid of this. This is actually better. Next, add any objects that are new in the scene. Don't need to do that because we're doing that in this one fell swoop, turns out. And now load the loot boxes in the scene. So that should be it. What happens here? Okay, so we'll have to do that. Let's see if it works now. Let's see if we solved all our problems. Frame rate gets bad depending on what script I've got selected. Hey look, something happened. Oh, come on, don't tell me I lost that data too. No? No. Might have another bug. Missing reference exception. Alright, let's see. Where is this going on? Scene transition 90. Start coroutine, fade out background. Well, that doesn't make any sense. Guess maybe we need to do end coroutine. So what if we do private void on disable or on destroy end coroutines, and we'll do the same for on disable, I guess. This will do end coroutine. Nope, end coroutine or stop coroutine maybe. Stop coroutine, yeah. Fade in background and stop coroutine, fade out background. Maybe that's an issue. Maybe it's saying, hey, we're still trying to do this coroutine, but you've already destroyed the item or the object. Maybe. Bugs? No. Those are all my own doing. Expected behavior. Yes, enter dungeon. Don't forget to like and subscribe, share with your friends, share on Discord, tell other people, hey, this stream I'm watching, it's really cool. Does it look dark to you in here? Because it looks dark to me. Maybe it's not, but this didn't change. Why did that not change? Those are good questions. It's supposed to happen right here. Alright, well let's table that for now. Come back to it. These bugs pop up that weren't happening before. And that could be very frustrating. Yep, missing object still. Makes little sense to me. That did not happen before. Missing reference exception. What does that even mean? The object of type scene transition has been destroyed, but you're still trying to access it. Scene Manager 244. Let's start from the beginning. Oh, that's Scene Manager. Alright, Scene Transition. End scene transition. So the scene was loaded. We're ending the scene transition. That goes to here, and then we start coroutine, and that's where the issue is. I'm unsure. Hello, Brian. The grass is not. Actually, in hindsight, I realized I probably should have used a different package for the environment, and I might change it because of that question. It's the meadow environment by the very talented Nature Manufacturer. So I basically just got this, and it's the demo scene. Somewhere in this video, you'd see the same meadow. Not sure. Whoops. Okay. But I need to change it to Book of the Dead, because a long time ago I converted Book of the Dead to standard shader, and now Book of the Dead is gone. So now Book of the Dead is my Book of the Dead, I guess. I'm the only one who's selling Book of the Dead anything. It's fully allowed by Unity. Okay, we won't watch that. That was a 20-second ad. Did you see that? They upped their ad time to 20 seconds. Get greedy. So I should change the environment scene to this one, so that when you ask, is the grass part of the package, I can say, yes, the new textures and standard pipeline conversion for Book of the Dead has that grass in it, and those trees in it. And while it's not a perfect conversion, it got pretty close. Yeah. So, anyways, I'm thoroughly confused about this. Because I really I didn't change anything here, I don't think. So I'm gonna do the classic, turn off, turn back on, just to see if that does anything. Turn back on. Here's a little preview of a treant that we're working on. try it again. Let's just see if anything magical happened when we restarted. It is frustrating when things that work suddenly stop working, right? Took up so much resources loading this scene that it made the music pause. Alright, so first of all, this should be firing, but it doesn't appear to be. Does it not have scene data? That could be, whoops, that could be a bigger issue then. Scenes, get item, active scene, data name. Very indeed. I want to make sure that this didn't suddenly lose its connection. No, it's got scenes. And scenes has dungeon and Ironport. That all looks right. Alright, so let's try it again. Rebuild the library folder. Well, let's hope we don't have to go to such drastic measures. Actually, yesterday I updated to 19.4.30 because a customer was saying that the Book of the Dead conversion was showing up completely blank. And I asked him what version he was using. He said the latest. And I asked him, well, which latest? And he said 19.4.3, which in most ways you look at it is not the latest version of Unity, but that's fine. So I loaded it up, it worked perfectly fine, but I updated this to that and I didn't realize it would have to rebuild the library, so it did that yesterday. Now he just wants a refund. I think he just wanted a refund from the beginning. No scene data found. Well, that's not good. Alright, scene data needs to be game.scenes get item, active scene, current scene name. Oh yeah, look at that. No active scene, current scene name. Active scene, current scene data. Same issue that happened on Ironport happened on Dungeon. I guess this is a lesson for me and anyone who wants to hear the lesson. When Ryder suggests that you include formerly serialized as, just say yes. Doesn't hurt. Okay. That is it. And it'll do a random UID. Oops, wrong button. Dash. Dash. Random stuff. Okay. Alright, now I'll go back to Ironport. We'll repeat this and maybe we move on to the next bug. Yes, enter the dungeon. Alright, so that part fixed that. Now, let's see if for some whatever reason, this is magically fixed. I really hope it is. Nope, it's not. God damn it. Alright. What does missing reference exception even mean? The object of type scene transition has been destroyed, but you're still trying to access it. Your script should either check if it's null, or you should not destroy the object. Well, I didn't destroy the object. It's right here. It still exists. It still exists. So... I mean, the weird thing is it all totally worked, right? I mean, clearly we can see it finished the scene transition, which is turning the color to full null, and unpause the game. But we don't actually do it here, we do it earlier. Am I referencing a prefab instead of an instance? You know, honestly, I don't know. It happens on this line. This is the line where it happens. Right here with line 107 at the start coroutine, which is weird because the coroutine started just fine. In fact, let's just do a test here. We'll say log fading out alpha value, just to see, just to make sure, just to see. I could try that too, but this isn't the don't destroy on load, and scene transition itself is one of those static things. So it should never be more than one. It's like Highlander. Let's see if we get that part running. What also strikes me as odd is that it happens in this scene, but it doesn't happen when we're going into dungeon. But technically, they do the exact same thing. So this is the fading out. That totally worked there. Let's see if it works here. Well, it happened really fast. But it did fade out. Okay, there we go. Fade out, fade out, fade out, fade out, fade out. Alright. Really, I want to know if the error happens before or after we see a bunch of fade outs. It happens right before. So that's... So clearly it still works. It's just because it's calling this right afterwards. Let's see, Unity 3D missing reference exception on start coroutine. Luckily, I'm not the only person in this world. This is bright. I like how people say, the error explains it all. It's like, no, clearly it didn't. Okay, on the first run of your game, you'll find game managers attaching a valid game option. When you reload the scene, all the options of the scene are destroyed. Except I already do it, stack, and don't destroy unload. Well, it sounds like this didn't get answered. I don't have that. Okay, this is the not very helpful. Well, try that, and otherwise I have no idea. But I got good SEO, so there you go. I have added both scenes. Let's see. Build settings, just to double check. Dungeon, Ironport. Yep. Alright. What have I changed recently? Not much here. Alright, let's do... Let's see. Log error GUID equals this dot game object dot GUID dot ID. Let's say GUID instance ID. Alright, let's do that idea. Now this happens before the bug, so we should see it when we load the scene. We should do it when we change scenes. Yep, Corey, it does work that direction. All right, let's see. Okay, there's the GUID. 11471144. Lots of ones and fours. Okay. Where'd it go? I can run if I hold shift. I should do that more often. Alright. Those are the two, so this is the one that gets destroyed. This is the one that's kept, so you can see it's being selected. Alright. I wonder, will the other one have the same GUID? because it's from the same scene. Okay. So that could be the issue. Paul, was that you who gave the suggestion, I want to say? Or was it Brian? I forget who. Or Corey? One of you suggested check for that. Okay, so clearly it's gone now. Now what's weird is it... Wait, no, it isn't gone. No, it's still there. Sorry. It's still there. So never mind, I take it back. I take it back. Whoa. But look. Changed positions. So we are onto something, I guess. It can't find this game object. So I wonder if it's looking for the other one. So maybe here we should add a check to see if I'm looking to see. Oh, boom. That's why we subscribe and we don't unsubscribe. So it's being called from a completely different, an external source. Because we subscribed to scene loaded, but we never unsubscribed to scene loaded. It's my new hypothesis, and I think I'm right. So now if we just unsubscribe on destroy and disable, and then I guess we should say private void on enable, or that is, no, that's awake. Never mind, go back. Then we should subscribe, so we're going to say private void subscribe. Alright, so we will subscribe here, and instead we will subscribe on enable only. Let's see if that works. Every scene has the required objects in it, but they're all singletons, so only the first one loaded should stay, everything else should destroy itself. And that part's actually working. The thing was, one of them that got destroyed would register with the scene loaded before it got destroyed, and then was still being called. And my guess is the missing reference was coming from some internal source, and that's why it seemed to be happening on that script, but it was actually a different object with the same script that had been destroyed that subscribed previously. Probably, my guess is the one that lives on this with a different GUI than this one. Well, thank you for the suggestion because that helped get things going. Interestingly, the other one didn't fire that time. Alright. Perfect. No issues? No issues. Good. Alright, I'm going to take out the debugs here that I don't want. Contrary to some belief, I don't put too much in my debug log. Just enough. I'm like Gandalf with arriving on time. I put precisely the debugs that I need to. Today at work, my work was very nice, and they had a guy come in and give us an hour-plus long talk on building believable NPCs in RPGs. Now, it was specific more towards like tabletop Dungeons and Dragons, but he also included for writing, and I took it for video games as well. And it was very interesting. I think it's some YouTuber, and I forget his name. His name was Guy, actually. Now I remember. And I appreciated it. I also happened to lay down on my bed during it while listening, and I think I fell asleep for about 10 minutes. Or maybe more, because I woke up and he was taking questions. It was recorded, so I can watch it later. Alright, let me just check this once more, and if everything checks out, then next step. You shall not log. That's probably a really bad impression. It does make sense now why the coroutine showed the error, because the coroutine, not directly, but a couple methods back, was being called by the event that I subscribed to. And that's why they always say, always unsubscribe to events. It's one of those things that if you subscribe, you should probably unsubscribe at the exact same time. Otherwise, you'll be like me and you'll forget. Alright, so we can walk around here, and it's really cool, and we're scared because it's a dark dungeon, so we're running away. Yes, I want to leave. I'm too scared. And we come out here, and that's a pretty picture. And then, look, we're out here. We're in the right spot. No actual errors. No actual errors. I probably should change those so that they're not red. There we go. So the next step, well, is to actually get this menu to work, because it's busted. And then getting these buttons to work, specifically saving and loading. Because I need to save right before leaving the dungeon or leaving a scene. Just in case the game crashes, I want people to reload where they were supposed to be, you know? Because scene transitions is always a point where something can crash, especially if I'm using transitions so I don't have to have too much in memory at once or manage that, but still, it's a point. Yep. Lord of the Rings. And remarkably, with Lord of the Rings, the director's cut, the extended editions, are actually way better. They, you know, a lot of extended editions, you're like, well, of course they cut that out. That was a terrible scene, or that added nothing. But in the extended editions of Lord of the Rings, it's like, oh, that makes the movie better. Alright. So what happened here? What should happen here? I'm probably doing very old code. Yeah, like saved game menu. This is old. And that's the root of the problem. So let's see. So I think we just need to start from scratch, most likely. Not complete scratch. What we could do. All right. Let's just step by step this. Put the right casing there, and then add missing references. Add the missing. That's what I meant. Oh, I see what I did originally. Okay. Whoop. We're gonna do namespace infinity_pbr dot legend of the stones. Save game menu. We're gonna call this we'll call it that for now. That's fine. Because it does more than just save the game. So maybe we'll call it main menu or system menu. System menu might be better. System menu. System menu. Hi, Brian. It's going. We just solved a big bug thanks to help from my friends. I fixed a bug with a little help from my friends. And now, moving on to redoing the saving and loading menu so that I can do this part. And we don't need to do anything. This is really on awake. On enable, we will set the name input text to our current name. This is old though, so we are going to be using infinity_pbr legend of the stones game and static, and then game data is actually name input.text equals game.data.name. Nope. Game dot. I don't know. Do we even have that? Is that even a thing that we have in the newest version? General name. That's it. That's where it lives. Data.general.name. That's our name. Oh, look, it was very similar to that, but whatever. Alright, so on enable, we're saying the name input to the current name. That is so when you do save the game, that's preset. It is pretty powerful, actually, Bull. I'm glad I am doing it. It's a trade-off, right? Between I'm definitely faster when I'm not talking out loud and all that, but I'm enjoying this. This is why I've been doing it so much. Why I've got Thursday, Friday, and Saturday all scheduled out already. But also, I'm only 300 watch hours away from the magical 4,000 watch hours, which is where YouTube says I might get monetized, which means those ads that you do see, if you see ads, might pay me a penny or a half a penny or whatever it works out to be. Probably not many halves of pennies, but it can add up. And as I said earlier, every little bit, it all goes to Magic Big Games and Infinity PBR, and every little bit helps to get more stuff made. Though one day I would like to not have a day job, and then I could work on this all day long and all night long. And that would be fun too. One day. One day. Alright, name input. So we do that. That's perfect. Check duplicate names. This is a method to see if there's a duplicate name. We're going to have to change that. We can do it better. Also, it doesn't get called anywhere, it looks like. So, there's that. Alright, so that's the start of our fixing of this. And each one of these is its own menu. So this is the menu, and then let's start with the close. What happens there? it just closes. Alright, that's fair. Should make sure escape works with that too at some point. A web API dev for payroll software. Yep. Technically, my job is not boring. What I just don't like is the politics of the workplace. I like the job, and I think I'm good at it. You all would probably agree. But the politics of the workplace, it's not for me. My goodness. We just get our work done and not deal with people trying to climb the corporate ladder. Okay. Alright, so that part's all fine. When... Well, actually, let's look at each button. V2s, huh? Well, now we're about to be V3. I wonder what used to be here. Probably sound or something. Okay, let's just remove that. Delete them all. Start from scratch. Okay. Menu options. What's this? This is old. I think I can go out on a limb, remove that component. Alright, system menu. And for system menu, we're going to go full on red. I got the job because I was not making money selling assets and making the game The Barbarian. So, I guess for the past 4.5 years I've been waiting for the day where I can go back. So we'll see. Let's see. Friends are texting me. Pizza. That sounds good. Alright. System menu. Okay, I think I'm going to put the loading, the closing, and opening in here. So I'm gonna do a header here, and we're gonna say header. We'll call this sub menus. And why is that? Public game object load menu. Load menu, and actually, yeah, public. Save menu. And we'll do the rest later. Okay, so we'll do public. Public, void, open, or toggle? Toggle, load. And we will say load menu dot set active. Not load menu dot active, so perfect. Toggle save. Save menu. Static file load save. What am I doing? I think I have one save file for a list of all the saved games, and then one save file for each saved game. And I believe it's not compressed or not encrypted or anything like that. I think right now it is just maybe JSON actually or something. So, all right, let me populate these. Save, load. I'm going to rename these to save menu and load menu and options menu and quit. Is this a pop-up? Probably. Oh, these are buttons. Save button, load button, options button, quit to main menu button, exit game button. And so now I need to fix my references here to load game menu and save game menu. And while I'm at it, delete game menu. Public game object, delete game menu. And we'll do one of these down here to toggle delete game menu. All right. I used to do my own website. Now I use Squarespace because last year, right before I had that Humble Bundle, I was like, my site sucks compared to where I need it to be. So I tried hiring a guy to make a site that I wanted, but he did not deliver. So I went to Squarespace and I've been paying them ever since. All right. Now then, save button is going to on click. We will do menu and system menu, toggle save. I'm going to call this system menu. And then load button on click, system menu, toggle load. All right. We'll ignore options, we'll ignore main menu, and we'll ignore exit game for now. We'll do those later. Those ones are much easier, mostly because options isn't going to be empty for now, and these two are just single lines. All right, so what happens when you toggle save? Turns on that menu. All right, let's see if this works so far. It should, but we'll see. Everything gets sorted in the end, doesn't it? All right. So we got this. Ooh. Still a bug. What's going on here? Oh. Interesting. Where do we say check duplicate names? Doing there? Where does this get called? this. It's probably being called on this text that every time this changes, it checks for a duplicate name. That's my best guess. Yeah, I've gotten a bunch of URLs from GoDaddy. Now I use Pork Bun. I like them. They seem cool. Looks like a smaller company. Alright, let's see what happens. Alright, that cleared that up. So now we get these. Let's do the save. Aha! So it loads that. So we need to make sure that when we click this... Oh, it covers that one. Oh, okay. That's fine for now. These will all be replaced. This is the name of the game. And this is where it's being called. Indeed. See, now we know. That's good that we have this. And then we have the save button. So let's pause and we'll see what all this does. Save game menu. Input field. Save game menu. Fair enough. Aha, system menu check duplicate name. Interesting. I had this twice. Okay, we'll remove that. Oh, let me do it from not play mode. Turn this one on. So, what happens when I click save? Save game button. Alright. Okay, so there must be a script here that does the saving and turns off that. Turns off the same game menu. That makes sense. Alright, one step at a time. This needs to be removed. And then that's why it's a different color. See, that's where color coding helps. I was thinking, why is that blue? I thought I changed it to red, and I did. But this instance of it was not red. Alright, so input. We are now going to put system menu. And check duplicate name. Okay, and then the save button. Let's open this up and see what it looks like and make it modern. Namespace infinitypbr.legend of the stones. It's a lot of code for what should be just a single button. Okay, so we are going to do name input, save the game, this is when I didn't know as much about coding as I do now. All of this is wrong now. Delete it. Delete it all. Save the game. What this is really going to do, using Unity, no, infinitypbr.legend of the stones, save and load. I believe it is. Don't need that. Don't think we need those. Save and load dot save game data ID equals, well, hell, I don't know. What is our game ID? Where is our game ID? Do we have that? Save game data. Saves the game. Save the game. Writes to JSON. Yada yada yada. That's the game data ID. Interesting. Add a new game. So we need to do more than just save the game. Add new game, get ID. These are more like it. Because when we actually hit the button, we need to make a note. When we save the game from the menu, we need to see if the game is, if the name is overwriting an existing game. If so, use that ID. Otherwise, if the name is new, create a new ID. Pass that to save game data. Okay, so int game ID. Pass that. Next one. And on here, if ID equals is less than 0, return. All right. So we also need to say, hey, are you sure about overwriting the name? So it's more than just this. It's probably this warning panel. I know, Magic Pig using pork bun. Who knew? Let's see. Warning panel. Game name already exists. Saving now will overwrite the previous data. Oh, so this is just pops up if the name is the same. Okay, so I think that's what was happening with system menu here. Yeah, so let's do save and load here too, using static infinitypbr.legendofthestone.save and load. We're going to say toggle warning save and load dot game name exists and name input dot text. Much smaller, but we now need to make sure name input is populated. Where did that live? That was up in system menu. Okay, so that's populated, that's populated. Okay. Let's just see if that works. So the warning should show right away because it defaults to the current game name. Good. And then if we change it, it goes away. Perfect. So that's our warning. We're not asking people if they want to overwrite right now. We might add that later. Then we do the save button. All right. So that's where we need to figure out, are we already saving? Well, yes, I think the method already exists. So what we need to do is, or mostly exists maybe, save game button. I think I'm going to put this in the system menu, and we'll say save the game here. Just get rid of this whole save game button script. In this case, saving and loading will both live in system menu. Maybe the others can have maybe options can have a different script, but I think save game menu. Okay, and save button. Remove component. System menu. Save the game. And close the save game menu. That's fine too. Although, you know what? I'm gonna put that in the code rather. Okay. Save the game. Don't need that script anymore. So it's gonna do save game and then also toggle save. I'll turn that menu off. And I'm actually going to do that before we save the game. And so save and load has a method I saw earlier. Add new game get ID and add new game. And so I'm going to say we need one that says it's a public int get game ID or add new game ID. And we're going to say, what's our current game? Do we have a thing for our current game? Load game list, setup. Alright, get game ID. Do we have a get game ID? Okay, public int get game ID string game name. I guess we'll just do this. Return -1 as the default. If the game name does not equal that, continue. Otherwise, return I. And so we will say get game ID. We're going to pass in, we are going to take a string game name, get game ID, string name, if where's this other one? Add new game get ID. So we're going to return if we do that, return if get or has game name exists. If game name exists, game name, then we will return get game ID game name. Otherwise, we will return add new game get ID. Do that. We don't need the if. That's my bad. That's simple. So if the game name exists, return the game ID. Otherwise, get a new one and creates a save game item with the name, time, and active scene, then adds it to the saved game list. Does it do that? Game, yeah, I guess it does. Game, save games, add, return. That is fine. Alright. So game data general name is the game name. So this is going to be on system menu. So game ID equals save and load. That passing in game.data.name general.name. Nope, not passing that in. We're passing instead that other string name input.text. Yes. And then we will save game data to that ID. Perfect. So this doesn't matter anymore. Okay. Save game data. I'm going to assume this works. Do we save when we add? Do we save the game list? Or do we save, where do we save the game list? When we delete selected game and when we load the game list, and that's it. So we also need to save the game list. Wait, save game data, then we load game list? What is this? Game to saved games. If the file exists, then read all. Okay. Okay. I think we need to save the game list in one other spot. think we have to do it after we create a new add new get game ID. Right here. Right, because every time we get, well, guess it'd actually be under same game data. Save game list. Let's try that first. I made the mistake of using player prefs on the Barbarian. That was a huge mistake. A long time ago I read in the forums, oh, you want to save game data for your RPG? Just use player prefs. So I was like, oh, I guess that's how you save it. So I made all these complicated if statements and whiles and loops in order to save shit tons of data to player prefs. It was not the right way of doing it. I found out the hard way. Oh well. That's how that game works now. Alright. So let's try this and see if it just magically works. Because there's a lot going on there, and I think it should mostly work. But it's only one way to find out. It does work because we know when we do the character creation, we save things just fine. So what we really want to know is if this new button works. I think I'm got PTSD from player prefs now. Alright, so save. We're gonna say test new name save. Add new get 90, save place 100, saving game 99. That's all the game data, I guess. Wow, that's a lot of game data. Saving game done. Oh. Well, there you go. Now let's see what happens when we click this. Nothing. A whole lot of nothing. Alright. Let's see what's supposed to happen. Chances are there's a script somewhere. Huh. I didn't delete a script from this object. Load game panel. Prefabs. UI. Load. Saved game panel? Nope. I don't think. Maybe it is. Drag this into here. It is. Alright, so that's that. So this is the thing that we're going to be bringing in. So guess we can put it here. We're going to call this load game menu. Seems appropriate. once that compiles, we need a reference to this prefab. We need to keep track of the list. And we need to make this Legend of Stones mono behavior. And namespace InfinityPBR Legend of the Stones. Yes. Alright, then up here we need public game object, save game button prefab. Or how about this? Saved game button prefab. Sure. And private list game object active buttons equals new list game object. Yes, that. Honestly, I'm of the mind that I don't really care if people reverse. It's not a multiplayer game or anything, so if you want to mess with the saved game data and make yourself all powerful, go for it. I'm personally not. I'm okay with that right now, at least. All right, so public void private void on enable. We will load game list, and this is going to be public, and this will say we need save and load, so using static InfinityPBR Legend of the Stones save and load for each, what is it? Load, save, load, game, list. What is this? Do I already have this? I do. Was I using menu controller for this? Is this an old menu controller? It looks like it is an old menu controller. Well, I'm going to steal from this. Look, I was using Player Press for this apparently. Not sure I'm going to keep doing that, but alright, load game list. We will steal from this. So what we're really going to do is say remove existing buttons. And in remove existing buttons, we are going to say for each game object in active buttons, or destroy game object. I think that'll work. Alright, game data, that's not right, that's old. But we go to using static InfinityPBR Legend of the Stones game. If we say maybe just game, maybe we still have that. Okay. Game. So if game.saved games I, if games.games I.deleted, then we'll continue. And then otherwise we will do this. Okay, we will say, better way of doing this, active buttons.add new panel, and we will pass into new panel game object new button equals add this. Return. Add new panel, or call this new button. Y. Buttons. Buttons.count -1. Okay, so that's the new button. Then I don't think these are all right. Saved games. Saved game. Well, it is technically right, but we're going to call this scene instead, because we've changed that. Hopefully it doesn't... Oh, yes, definitely want to do that. Hopefully that doesn't mess with everything. Autosave. Whether it's an autosave or not, that's important. We haven't done the autosave system, but we have to at some point. Date, time, save, date. Oh, that's like interesting. Okay. Deleted, false. Save game. All right. I don't know if those are all actually right, but that's okay. Alright, so that should load the game list on enable. Now I just need to make sure we link everything properly, if there's no errors. Because that was a fair amount of stuff without checking for errors. Good, no errors. Okay, load game menu. Change our log settings to a sort of this color red. Saved game prefab. Save game panel. Content here. Delete that. System menu, that's all set. Yes. Okay. That off. That off. Turn that off. Save. Play. Bug. Alright, clearly I screwed something up. Fudgesicle. Damn it. There's no bug per se. It's just not loading things properly. Start. Get ready. Set new game data. Not title. Loading last game's data. Player prefs. Last saved game. Save and load game. No debug here. We should probably do that. Wait. What is that? Load game number 99. Okay, don't do anything for those. Game is ready. What is different though is there are more of these Myers. These spear is normal. These other two, however, set up loop. did change this a little bit. Let's see if that was what the issue is. Well, that wasn't the issue. Let's see. This is the right game name. We got our players. We just paused? Game time. Where's pause level? Pause level's 3. Something's saying the pause level to 3, maybe. Okay, so what we can do is figure out why pause level is going to 3 at the start. I wonder if that's actually the intent. But it's just a hunch. Set pause level. Log. Set pause. Set pause level max. Int new level. Aha, could be one of these. And finally, this one. This could be exactly what it is. And it's possible, that why can't we do logger? How can we get log services? That's what we need. Okay. It's possible that this actually wasn't working before, and now it is working. Which is Okay, I'll accept it because pause level on awake, pause level when scene changes. I think those are not set to those values, but yeah, it's not, but we'll see. See if something is setting it. It'll be a no owner one. Huh. 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 Doesn't get caught at all. Is it set right here? No. So clearly something is setting it. Oh, that's probably why. My guess, maybe because this is open and that's not supposed to be open. I turned off the wrong object. Maybe not. But I think it's related to this. I did change stuff on menu control. Alright, let's see. Click the menu button. This does toggle panel menu. Okay, so menu controller toggle panel menu. And so it's probably menu controller that's causing the issue. What were my recent changes? No, I can't remember. this one. Pause level on in-game menu open equals 3. So clearly in-game menu might be open. Set pause. Yep. End scene transition. Finish scene transition. Set pause. If turn on game data pause level equals pause level on in-game menu open. All right. That didn't even spit out anything. Let me try. Just remind myself which one of these were actually open before. Go to the prefab because I haven't updated that. Okay, so canvas load game was turned on. This is turned on, this is turned off, and that is probably it, because system menu should have been turned off. It was turned on. And when it's turned on, nope, that wasn't it. Unless there's another. Hey, at least it populated. Huh. That part worked. I just don't know. Set pause isn't being called. Change it to a warning just to. Sure, it's an automated thing that's happening. Like something is open, therefore it has to be pause level 3. And I know I messed around with all of this stuff. Test it. Oh, so that wasn't it. Oh, actually, I do know. Ha! Silly, silly problem. I bet it's because we saved that the pause level was 3. And because we successfully saved the game, and that includes the pause level. Because that's part of the data that we save. So what we need to do is say, ha, that's funny. It's annoying because it took time, but it's still kind of funny. What we need to do is, after all this, we need to do game time dot set or game, no, where are you? Data dot game time dot pause level equals 0. Hard code the game to not be paused. We'll just do that for now. It's because when you load the game from the character creation scene, it doesn't. The pause level is 0. I've never actually saved the game in this view for a long, long time. Certainly not because I changed the whole structure. But when you're saving, your pause level is set to 3. And so simply with saving that value, I wonder if I move, if it will save my position too. Let's see, I'll move over here. Okay, and I will be looking at the dungeon. Save, save, stop, and play. A win is a win. No, didn't give me the right position, but baby steps. All right, so that is that problem. That's kind of funny. All right, I'm gonna call it a night. I think chill out for a little bit before tomorrow's big day at work. It's always a big day at work. I think the next step, though, I want to keep working on the save. I want to make sure it's saving the right player position and all that stuff. Yeah, and then making sure it loads the right stuff. And then working on also, when you do load these properly set, I also want to save. Another bug to fix. I also want to save an image. So no matter where you are, I want to save this view. So if you're looking up or if you're looking down, it's going to save this probably. But I want to save this view so that every saved game has a little image next to it, attached to it. But that's something else. I want to do those as well. Yeah. This has been great. Thank you for all your help. Yeah, what a night. What a night. Good stuff. I'm happy with it for the most part. All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a wonderful evening and day, and I'll see you another time.